only neophytes want to reach the end. An expert in any game understands that mastership is the flow. When you play a game, you want to be the best. But you don't understand what that means. To become the best in anything is to tune yourself to the game, to the spirit of the game, to the current of the game. Like a surfer. He's tuning himself to the ebbs and flows of the ocean. So what makes his life easy and effortless? Not surfing? Well, we could say, yeah, when do I stop surfing? Let's say I was in Hawaii and went surfing. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I got my ass whooped every day for a few hours, every day, nonstop. I'm like, the easiest thing is not to go. It's exhausting. It's like, I'm tired. I'm not enjoying this. Lucky for me, I like the ocean, right? But besides, this is a mess. I can't even get past one wave and then the other one hits and hits and hits and hits and hits. So to solve my issue, remember, let's use the analogy of the ocean surfing as a life. So the best way is to be outside of it, then I don't have to deal with the problem. Right? In the meantime, you look at others who know what they're doing, surfing, life. And what's that person doing? He's he's in the ocean. He's just like me. But when the wave comes, he has no problem. He just dives under it. Like, I'm like, how do you do that? I try to do this. I don't know how to do this. It's easy. Then when the good wave he likes, when he likes it, not the one that decided to take over, like it does to me, it comes, and he's like, I'm on it. And he's just like, and he's, and I'm like, look at this little prick. It's just like there's nothing to it. And he's just having fun. And it looks so smooth and so effortless. He's making no effort. Besides the fact that he's in the ocean, so there's the effort of being present, fine. But besides that, he's doing no effort. I'm doing effort. And my life sucks. And I want it just to end. Right? So that's how a beginner feels. I want it to end. When does it end? When does my suffering end? Yeah, but the suffering isn't the game. The suffering is the ignorance of the game. So we use the analogy of the surfer. I'm like, this guy's not suffering. He's having the best moment of his life. He's having an orgasm on his fucking board. And I'm in the same ocean as him. Technically, he's on the same wave as me, more or less, right? The same set, right? And I'm in hell. I'm about to drown. And this guy's like, and he's enjoying himself. The sun is setting. Everything is cool. It's the moment, right? And I'm like, and he's in the moment. And there's a girl right there, and he's like hanging out with her with his hair, and you're about to surf, and it's like he's having the moment, right? How does that work? So all I want is my pain to end, and for me it means getting out, and for him, he could be having the same pain as me, but he's not, because he's not ignorant. He knows how to surf. And for him, the pleasure and the bliss comes from the flow. He's not resisting the ocean. He understands the ocean. He can ride the ocean. And it becomes effortless. Sure, he had to learn how to tonify his body and all those things. He had basics of learning any art form, including riding the current of life. But once you got it going on, it's like, well, he's just having a ball. He's just smooth, he's just bored. He's going to walk forward on this board, walk backward on this board, and he's going to be like, whatever. He's flirting as he's surfing with whoever. It's just like effortless. So he's in the flow. So the sense of when does it end, the feeling of when does my problem end, comes from a neophyte's mind who doesn't understand what is the nature of solving a problem. The nature of solving a problem is tuning yourself to an intelligence, in this case is the ocean, learning how to ride that intelligence and being in the flow. As they said in Star Wars, a Jedi strength flows with the Force. That's a very powerful sentence. Even for a fucking little green dude that doesn't exist. That's a powerful sentence. A Jedi strength, that means a moron's strength comes from flowing with an intelligence, right? Well, how do you get to that? Well, that's the key. And until you get to that, what's your life going to be about? Problems? Tensions, more problems, more tensions, and suffering because you can't flow. So the solution to your problem is learning how to flow. The end of suffering is learning how to flow. Now the question is, what do you want to learn to flow on? So if you're intelligent, you understand what I'm saying, you want to connect yourself to a life current or a life intelligence that you can learn how to flow that solves or encompasses within itself all other currencies. Ooh. But then you still have to learn how to do that. And if you don't, well, you're going to suffer. And you're going to be like praying your imaginary God, God, make my pain end. When does pain end, God? Oh, God. And you're going to be a spiritual people in the eyes of morons who don't understand fuck all about life. And it's your fucking problem that you're suffering. That's not God's problem you're suffering. God has created the resources, or that supreme power has availed the solutions for you. But you're too fucking lazy and too stupid to use what God has given you to think, but you know who Kim Kardashian is and who she's fucking, but you can't analyze yourself for 5 minutes and understand something this basic. And it doesn't matter that there's like people from the past who've spoken about this for generations on end. Well, you're suffering because you're isolated from life itself, trying to preserve an image that is false instead of connecting to the current of life, which is God itself. Well, that's deep. That's like nonsense, man. I'm like, no, you're a moron. That's not nonsense. This is so basic. And you watch movies about that. On top of that, makes you even more dumb. I remember we would hang out with a bunch of potheads and they were loving Star Wars, talking about Star Wars and the Force and repeating Obi-Wan Kenobi nonsense, right? It's like so awesome. And the moment we would speak of those things outside of the sphere of Star Wars, they'd be like panicking, trying to go grab on and hold on to the little prophet. I'm like, you just like worship Star Wars ideology, and now we're talking about how does this actually apply in reality? Then you go run to your prophet or your Messiah because you know. I'm like, yeah, okay. Anyways, what can I tell you? Intelligence requires a thorough, simple analysis of life. It's not so complicated. And then when you're looking to find clarity in your mind, life guides you to people who will help you to see clear. And if what I'm saying is true for you, you'll immediately understand. You're not going to have to think about it. There's not a part of your stupid brain that's going to want to argue with me because this is not technically exact, because you're a fucking geek. Get the fuck out of here. No, you'll immediately understand, right? Oh, I see of course I know exactly what he means. Of course you know exactly what I mean, because it's obvious. And then once you grasp this, you're like, okay, yeah, well, what else am I supposed to do? I have to learn this, because if I don't, I will suffer, and I'm responsible for my suffering. Nobody's going to remove your suffering. Even if let's say you believe in Jesus, you still go through hell. Your whole life is hell. You believe in Jesus in the hope that when you die, you go to heaven. Yeah, but your whole life is hell. So what's the point? Like, I love Jesus. I don't ever insult Jesus, my dude. But you understand what I'm trying to say? What the hell's the point? I'm in hell. So if I can't learn how to navigate through this, and it can be smooth and peaceful, then I got a problem. There's a problem with life itself. But if you take 2 minutes and you thoroughly analyze simply how everything and anything works, you're like, no, but wait a minute. There's got to be an intelligence. Everything has an intelligence. You can see it in basketball. You can see it in any activity. You can see it in martial arts. You can see it in music. You can see there's always an intelligence, a frequency. So life must have a frequency also, or many ones. Different calibers, of course. So what's the difference between learning and mastering a sport or a guitar? Then when it applies to life, you're scared. It's like, no, it's just the scope is bigger. It's the same. There's an intelligence. So you need to, if you want to master the game of life, you need to tune yourself to that intelligence and learn how to express it and ride it. Now, is that so complicated to understand? I don't think so. But for some people, I guess it is.